There is something no one speaks of enough. The way your eyes grow tired. The way your mind begins to slip. After 60, it happens slowly, quietly, like a candle burning lower without anyone noticing. I am not speaking of disease. I am speaking of the ordinary moments. Waking up and your vision is clouded, like fog on still water. Walking into a room and standing there, wondering why you came. Looking at a simple page and feeling your eyes burn after just 5 minutes. You think it is just age. You accept it. You move on. But what if I told you you do not have to accept it? I am monk Ryokan Miyamoto. I have spent decades in quiet study, in nature, in stillness. And in that stillness, I have learned something the busy world forgets. The body speaks, and when we listen, it heals. Today, I want to sit with you. I want to share something ancient, something simple, something the modern world has walked right past without noticing. 4 natural drinks. 4 humble gifts from the earth that science now confirms can restore your brain and your vision while you sleep. Not pills, not powders, real food, real medicine, the kind your grandmother knew. But before I share them, let me tell you what is truly happening inside your body after 60, and why these drinks matter more than you realize. There is a teaching I return to often. A bowl left empty cannot nourish anyone. Recent findings in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging revealed something that stopped me in my thoughts. Over 92% of adults over 65 are missing at least one key nutrient that the eyes and brain need to repair themselves, not during the day, but at night, while sleeping. Every single night, while you rest, your body is reaching for what it needs to rebuild. And for most people over 65, that nourishment is simply not there. Your memory cells cannot fully restore. Your eyes cannot fully refresh. And you wake up the next morning still tired, still foggy, still blurry, not knowing why. Now you know why. And now, let me show you what to do about it. If this teaching is finding you at the right moment, I invite you to stay with me. Subscribe so these lessons continue to reach you each week. Share this with someone you love who is walking this same path. Now, let us begin with the first drink. The first drink is carrot juice, and I want you to see it not as a vegetable, but as a gift of light. In the old texts, the carrot was called food for the eyes. The monks who tended garden knew this long before science confirmed it. And now science has confirmed it beautifully. Carrots carry within them beta-carotene. Your body takes this and transforms it into vitamin A. And vitamin A is the protector of your retina, the delicate, light-sensitive cells in your eye that allow you to see in dimness, in shadow, in the quiet moments of early morning. When vitamin A is missing, these cells begin to weaken. Night blindness creeps in. Dryness settles. Vision blurs. These are not signs of fate. They are signs of a missing ingredient. But carrot juice gives more than vitamin A. It also carries lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 powerful compounds that guard the macula, the center of your eye responsible for sharp, clear vision. They do not just slow the damage, they help the eye recover from years of strain, from screen light, from harsh sun. And then there's the brain. Carrot juice contains falcarinol, a natural compound found to protect the walls of your brain cells and calm inflammation deep in brain tissue. A study from Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience in 2021 found that daily beta-carotene-rich juice improved working memory and cognitive recall in seniors over 65. Those with early signs of decline benefited the most. In that same study, participants who drank 250 milliliters of carrot juice every morning for 8 weeks scored 13% higher on visual recall tests than those who did not. 13% may sound small, but think of what it means. It is the difference between forgetting your neighbor's name and remembering it, between losing your keys and knowing exactly where you left them. And here is something important. Carrot juice is fat-soluble. That means your body absorbs it far more powerfully when it is paired with a healthy fat. A teaspoon of olive oil, a handful of walnuts, even a slice of avocado. Do not let this gift pass through you without being received. Here is how to use it. Each morning, juice 2 to 3 medium carrots. Add a thin slice of ginger for warmth, or a squeeze of lemon for brightness. Drink it with breakfast, alongside something that carries a little healthy fat. Even simple whole grain toast with avocado will do. Do this every morning. Notice what changes. If today is the day you decide to begin, let this be the first step. Share this lesson with someone who needs it, and stay with me because the next drink is one that most people have never considered for the brain, and it works fast. The second drink is beet juice, and I want you to think of it as a river being made to flow again. When I sit in stillness, I am aware of the breath, the blood, the quiet movement of life through the body. That movement, that flow, is everything. Without it, the brain and the eyes become like a garden with no water. Slowly, without drama, they begin to wither. Most people over 60 do not connect blood flow to memory loss or blurry vision. But the connection is direct, and it is powerful. Beets carry something called dietary nitrates. When you drink beet juice, these nitrates become nitric oxide in your body. And nitric oxide is a quiet miracle. It tells your blood vessels to relax, to widen, to open. Doctors call this vasodilation. I call it the river being invited to flow again. As the vessels open, oxygen-rich blood reaches places it could not reach before. Your brain, your retina, the small, delicate networks that keep you sharp and seeing clearly. A clinical study in the Nitric Oxide Journal in 2020 found that adults over 60 who drank beet juice daily showed significantly improved blood flow to the frontal lobe, the part of the brain that governs attention, decision-making, and short-term memory. After just 4 weeks, participants responded faster and focused better on cognitive tests. And for the eyes, nitric oxide protects the tiny vascular network of the retina, the blood vessels so fine and delicate that age slowly damages them. A study in the Journal of Ocular Pharmacology and Therapeutics in 2019 confirmed that beet juice helped maintain retinal thickness and reduce oxidative stress in aging subjects. What moves me most about beet juice is this. It begins working within 30 minutes of drinking. This is not a slow medicine. This is immediate nourishment. Here is how to prepare it. Take 1 medium raw beet, peel it, slice it, and juice it with a small apple or half an orange to soften that deep, earthy flavor. Drink it in the afternoon, between 2 and 4 o'clock, when most people feel that quiet dip in energy and clarity. If you can, take a short walk after. Let the blood move. Let the gift be fully received. If this is speaking to something in you, something that has been waiting to be said. Please share this with a friend or a family member who needs to hear it. And if you have not yet subscribed, I warmly invite you to do so now. These teachings are released every week, offered freely for people exactly like you. The third drink is blueberry juice, and I want you to see it as something rare, not just protection, but renewal. Most things in aging are about preventing loss, holding on, slowing the decline. But there is a different kind of medicine, one that does not just hold the line, but helps rebuild what time has taken. Blueberry juice is that medicine. Blueberries are among the richest natural sources of anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that do something almost unbelievable. They stimulate neurogenesis, that is, the creation of new brain cells. This is not poetry. This is science. A landmark study in the Journals of Gerontology, Series A, in 2020, showed that seniors who drank wild blueberry juice daily for 12 weeks experienced measurable improvements in memory recall, processing speed, and neural activation visible on MRI scans. The anthocyanins crossed the blood-brain barrier, calmed oxidative stress in the hippocampus, and raised BDNF levels, a protein that helps your brain cells grow, survive, and connect. Your brain, even at 70, even at 80, is still capable of growth, still capable of change. Blueberry juice supports that change from within. And for the eyes, anthocyanins protect the retinal ganglion cells, the cells responsible for carrying visual information from your eye to your brain. A study from Molecular Vision in 2019 showed that regular blueberry intake preserved retinal structure even under oxidative damage. Let me tell you about a woman I will call by the name Helen. She was 74. She came to me with a quiet sadness. Reading had become a struggle. Words blurred. Her thoughts felt slow, like wading through shallow mud. She had been an avid reader her whole life, and that part of her was slipping away. She began drinking blueberry juice each evening. Within a few weeks, she returned. She was doing her crossword puzzles again, sharp, focused, and smiling. 1 cup of wild blueberries, fresh or frozen. Blend with a little water or half a banana for thickness. Drink it in the evening, about 90 minutes before you sleep. That is when your brain begins its nightly repair, and these nutrients arrive exactly when they are most needed. You may not feel it on the first night, but stay with it, because the river does not change course in a single moment. It changes slowly, persistently, quietly. If this teaching has moved something in you today, I ask you one small thing. Leave a comment below and tell me which juice you plan to start with. Let this be your first act of commitment to yourself. And now, the fourth drink, the one that surprises people most. It is green, it is humble, and it may be the most complete medicine of all four. The fourth drink is spinach juice. And I want you to think of it not as a vegetable, but as a gentle restorer. The monks of old ate simply, greens from the garden, water from the well, and they remained sharp, calm, and clear-eyed far into old age. We thought it was meditation. We thought it was stillness. And yes, those things matter. But the greens mattered too. Spinach holds within it lutein and zeaxanthin, the same protective carotenoids we spoke of in carrots, but found here in high concentrations, stored naturally in the macula of your eye. As the decades pass, these pigments slowly deplete, and as they fade, the macula becomes vulnerable. Oxidative stress, UV damage, and inflammation gather where these protectors once stood. Spinach juice replenishes them. A study in Nutrients in 2020 found that higher blood concentrations of lutein and zeaxanthin from leafy greens were directly linked to improved contrast sensitivity and visual processing speed in older adults. You see clearer. You process what you see faster, not slightly, measurably. Now the brain. Spinach carries folate, a B vitamin that is essential for producing neurotransmitters, especially dopamine and serotonin, the messengers of mood, of motivation, of feeling like yourself. And folate does something else equally important. It regulates homocysteine, a compound that, when it accumulates, is toxic to brain cells and strongly associated with cognitive decline. A randomized trial in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2018 found that older adults with low folate scored measurably lower on memory and attention tests. When folate was restored through diet, their cognitive function improved. Spinach also carries vitamin K, which supports the structure of brain cell membranes and helps form myelin, the protective coating around your neurons that allows signals to travel quickly and clearly. Without it, the messages slow down. With it, they flow. Together, these compounds create something greater than any one of them alone. A synergy, a harmony. The way a temple is more than its stones. One gentle note. Spinach contains oxalates, which in large amounts may not suit people with kidney concerns. So juice in moderation, and if you have any kidney history, speak with your doctor first. Here is how to prepare it. 1 large handful of fresh, raw spinach. Juice it with a green apple or half a cucumber to soften the flavor. Drink it mid-morning or before lunch, when your body is awake and able to receive it fully. Even 1 small glass carries more than you might imagine. Now let me bring these 4 together. Let me give you the simple daily rhythm that your body has been waiting for. Think of your day as a temple. Each hour is a hall. Each meal is an offering. And these 4 juices are the morning bell, the midday chime, the afternoon prayer, the evening silence. Here is the rhythm. In the morning, shortly after you wake, drink carrot juice. Let it give your retina the vitamin A and carotenoids it needs to open and focus for the day ahead. If you take morning medication, wait until after your first light meal. Around mid-morning or before lunch, drink spinach juice. Let the folate, vitamin K, and lutein begin their quiet work, nourishing your neurotransmitters, protecting your macula, steadying your mind for the hours ahead. In the afternoon, between 2 and 4 o'clock, when the energy softens and the mind begins to drift, drink beet juice. Let the nitric oxide open your vessels. Let the oxygen flow again. You will feel the difference. Your mind will sharpen. The fog will lift. In the evening, about 90 minutes before you sleep, drink blueberry juice. Let the anthocyanins cross into your brain and begin their work. Let them protect your retinal cells, raise your BDNF, and help your neurons rest deeply and rebuild overnight. You do not need all 4 every day. 2 juices a day is a beautiful beginning. You can rotate, spending a full week with one and then shifting to another. What matters is not perfection. What matters is showing up, again and again, with a small glass and a willing heart. These juices are not miracles. A monk does not believe in miracles that bypass effort. These are tools, and tools used with patience and consistency change everything over time. The fragile blood vessels in your retina, they can be supported. The communication between your brain cells, it can be restored. The memory circuits dulled by years of stress and inflammation, they can be gently reawakened. You may not feel it on day 1. You may not even feel it on day 7. But stay with the practice, because healing does not announce itself. It arrives quietly, like dawn. Now let me speak to you directly, from one soul to another. Perhaps you have been watching this and a small voice inside you is asking, "Is it too late for me? My eyes have been slipping for years. My memory is not what it was. Have I already lost too much?" I want to answer that voice with all the gentleness I carry. No, it is not too late. I have walked alongside people in their 60s, their 70s, their 80s, who believed the door had already closed, who had accepted the fog as permanent, who had made peace with forgetting. And I have watched them slowly, quietly, powerfully begin to return to themselves. Not all the way, not overnight, but meaningfully, truly. A glass of carrot juice in the morning, beet juice in the afternoon, blueberry juice before sleep, spinach juice to nourish the mind and eyes through the day. It is not a grand gesture. It is a daily act of faith in your own body. Your brain has not given up on you. Your eyes have not surrendered. They are simply waiting, patiently and loyally, for you to give them what they need. And it begins, as all things begin, with a single step, a single glass, a single choice made today. If this teaching has meant something to you, I have a small request. Tap the like button. It is a simple gesture, but it tells me that this work matters to you, and it helps carry these lessons to others who are searching for them right now. Share this video with someone you love, someone who is walking through the same fog, someone whose eyes are tired, someone whose memory worries them. You may be the reason they find their way back. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do so now. Every week I offer new teachings, grounded in ancient wisdom and confirmed by modern science, always offered gently, always designed for people who are exactly where you are. Before you go, leave a comment and tell me, which of these 4 juices will you begin with tomorrow? Carrot, beet, blueberry, spinach. Write it below. Let that comment be your promise to yourself. I read every one. The path forward is not complicated. It is not expensive. It is not out of reach. It is in your kitchen. It is in a handful of blueberries, a humble beet, 2 carrots, a few leaves of spinach. It is in the quiet decision to begin. I am Monk Ryokan Miyamoto, and I will see you in the next lesson. Until then, be still, be well, and above all, be kind to the body that has carried you all these years. It deserves your care.